right, we'll go ahead and get started. My name is Ahmad Ajami, and I'm one of the assistant athletic directors here at Parish Episcopal School. On behalf of the athletic department, head of school Dave Monaco, assistant head of school Michelle Lyon, we want to welcome everybody to Parish for our first college signing ceremony of the year. What an exciting and amazing event for us all to come together and celebrate these amazing student athletes. And as a fan of Parish Episcopal, it's just been an honor to be a part of their careers here, their journey, and to get to see them as they take their next steps. I'm going to be real brief because what they're doing is way more important than anything I have to say. But before we get started, I do want to say that their feats, as amazing as it is, and their accomplishment and the goals that they reached, as awesome as it is, wouldn't be possible without the moms, the dads, the grandparents, the aunts and uncles, families and friends. So let's give a round of applause to the support system, the sacrifice that you all have made. I know they appreciate it. So the way we will do this ceremony is we'll have each head coach of the respective sport and student athlete come up, speak. Then we'll give the student athlete an opportunity to speak. And then at the end, when everyone's had their chance to say their words, we'll all pick up our pens together, and at the same time, we'll sign those exciting national letters of intent. So, to start us off, Coach Savage, or girls soccer team.
About 2 years ago, I got a message that we had a new player, a new student at the school, moving in from Florida, from IMG. And I was like, oh, great, Florida. They go, well, actually, she's Canadian. It's like, oh, Canadian. Okay, great, Canadian. It's like, well, but she plays on the Swiss under-17 national team. It's like, oh, she's Canadian, she's Swiss. But she grew up in London. I'm like, where's this girl from? I don't care, can she play? And she came out to one of our summer sessions. It was quite clear right away, oh, she can play. She can play. And then a couple weeks after that, I got some bad news. Emily tore ACL. So we had to wait a whole year to see the impact that Emily was going to have on our program. And in a very short amount of time, she's had a massive impact. From the first day she stepped out of practice, she brings a maturity to the team that changed how we practice. And I started thinking about where the root of that maturity is, and some of it may be that she's lived in so many different places. And I think it comes from the core of who she is. And Emily's a very, very fine soccer player, and she is a special student, very talented student. But I think at the core, she's a big sister. She's got two little sisters, and she's an exceptional big sister. And I know this because I've seen how one of her little sisters talks about her. And I see how the other players on the team look at her and respond to her, and it's because she's a good big sister. And that's a pretty important quality. So we're drastically going to miss Emily next year. We wish she'd had more years in our program, but her accomplishments and her attitude and what she brings to the team, I hope, stays for a very long time. So Emily is going to be going off to Vancouver, back to Canada, for college. And while she has called many places home, she's going to graduate at Parish Panther. And I hope that she feels that this is always a place she can go back to, and this is home. So, Emily Park.
Good morning. Thank you for coming. I'm Tony Opliger. I'm one of the assistant athletic directors here at Parish. I'm not Tatum's swim coach. Unfortunately, her swim coach could not make it here today, so I'm speaking on her behalf. But I have a close affinity to the Parish swim program, to Tatum and her family. My first year here, is when Tatum was a swimmer on the swim team here at Parish. My own daughter is a big-time swimmer, so we had that connection, and my daughter's coach was Leah Oberstar-Brown, who is the Parish swim coach. So on behalf of Leah, she sent these sentiments that I'm going to read for Tatum today. She also shared with me when we were talking about Tatum that Coach Oberstar-Brown always felt like she had an assistant coach at practice and at the meets when Tatum was there. So obviously the impact she's had on this program is enormous. I've enjoyed working with Tatum and her family on this journey. We had lots of talks along the way, so I'm glad we've gotten to a great place. These are the words from Coach Leah. I've coached Tatum for the last 6 years. I watched as she dominated middle school swimming in 7th and 8th grade. Even then, she was a leader. Her 4 years representing Parish in high school have been some of the best years of our girls' swim team. She has continued to grow as a leader and as a swimmer. I can hardly believe that she is going off to Chapman next year, and she will continue to swim. She is a talented swimmer, she's a great leader, and she's a loyal friend to her teammates. No matter what happens in her races, she is always there to cheer on her teammates and always able to pull out a good swim for the team. I'm going to miss having her on the team, but I know that she has left an indelible mark on the Panther swimming team and on me as a coach. Chapman is lucky to have Tatum coming their way, to be part of their team and to be part of their school. Good luck, Tatum, and congratulations.
I just want to thank my parents, my little brother, all my coaches, all of my friends for all the support they've given me, and I can't wait for the next 4 years. Go Panthers!
Thank you, Tony. Fred, you want to adjust this microphone real quick? Fred, you want me to? We're going to adjust this real quick. Better. All right. First, I want to thank everybody for coming out today. I know you guys are all here to hear me speak, so I'm really honored that all these cameras and everybody's here just to listen to me. No, but seriously, the turnout for this event is amazing. We greatly appreciate all the coverage and attention given to our football program from the media and to our athletic department in general. Before we get going, I wouldn't really feel right if I didn't thank some very important people. I obviously don't have time to thank everyone who deserves recognition, but there are some people I do want to mention real quick. First is Dave Monaco. I know he's here, our head of school. I know I say this all the time, but he really is the best head of school to work for. You cannot run a successful program without the guy at the top being behind you all the way, and it's not just lip service I pay up here. He really is the best boss to have, and I really appreciate everything he's done for me personally and that he's done for this program, so we appreciate you. Second is our day-to-day command person, Michelle Lyon, who I see here as well. She gets the day-to-day brunt of managing me and the football program, and that doesn't always jive with everything going on in the school, but she does it great, and she's very good at managing us and keeping all the components going smoothly. So we appreciate Miss Lyon, appreciate her for being here. We don't have to clap after every single one. I got a couple more. Mr. Andrew Jennings, who's our head of upper school, the support he gives our student athletes, and I use the word student athletes because that's what they are first. They're students first, athletes second here. That's not just a moniker we use. That's the truth that these young men really do come here and they have to get their work done in the classroom, and his support that he provides them and everything he does for them is second to none, so we certainly appreciate him. Okay. Our athletic director, Brett McCabe, who is not here today. He has food poisoning, unfortunately. He has food poisoning, but he couldn't be here with us today. I know he would have loved this. This is his dream coming to fruition, having all this out here, and so I'm sad he's not getting to see it, but I know he's watching on the stream, and he certainly is an incredible athletic director. Anything we need as a program, he gets done for us, and very rarely does he tell us no, so we certainly appreciate him, and if you're watching, appreciate you, Brett. Ahmad Ajami, who you guys heard from here at the beginning, he manages the football program on a day-to-day basis. He's my right-hand man. Anything we need done, he gets it done. I know I can always count on him. I always tell him this, but we couldn't operate as a program without Coach Ajami, and he has, he is selfless in that he has the boys basketball program to also look out for as he's their head coach, so I really appreciate him and I appreciate all he does for our football program. Our athletic administration, Katrina Simonson, who is the brains behind all this. You see, this is not easy setup for everybody. Tony Opliger, who you guys heard from a minute ago, appreciate all you guys. Michael Pegues, who's a Board of Trustee member, who also mentors a lot of our football players and really does. A few years ago, he came to me and said, Coach, I want to take an interest in your players. I hear that a lot, and then a lot of people end up disappearing. He truly means it, and he truly stays involved in their lives. Even when they're gone from Parish, he's involved. He's there. He's checking on them, make sure everything is going according to plan, so we appreciate him. I know he's in the audience somewhere. And then Trey Velvin, our board chair here at Parish. I saw him walk in. I certainly want to give a shout-out to him. He's the president of the Board of Trustees, and like I said about Dave, operating a football program isn't always easy. It's certainly costly, and it certainly takes a lot of time and effort, and we are greatly appreciative of the board and all they do for the school to make all this possible. Next, I want to thank our assistant coaches. I know a lot of them are out in the audience. I can't recognize all of them, but if you guys are out there, please give them a round of applause. A lot of times the credit undeservedly is pointed in my direction, but those are the guys in the foxhole with the players day to day. They're the ones developing the players, making sure they're prepared for the game. They're the ones developing them, getting them ready, doing everything that needs to be done, and they deserve a ton of recognition, especially Coach Corey, who is our recruiting coordinator. I don't know if I've seen him walk in yet or not, but there he is. He helps greatly in the recruiting process, so I certainly want to recognize him and give him my appreciation for all he's done for our program and the college recruiting efforts, which is what this day is all about. And then last but not least, I want to thank our players. These guys sitting up here are representing a whole group of guys that made this possible. Everyone on the football team had a role in getting this to happen, and so I want to thank all you guys for your hard work, your dedication, your tremendous effort, and all we've done the last few years. So appreciate the players. You can give them a round of applause. So signing day is the culmination of a lifelong dream for a lot of these guys. Many of us that put on the pads from the very first time we have this dream of sitting up here, signing and committing to go play college football in front of our family and friends. I know I couldn't be more proud of this group and this team represented by these guys up here today. They've accomplished so much in their time at Parish. They've walked off the field the last 3 years in a row having won the championship. I can't tell you how few people get to experience this and how rare it is. You don't get to do that without having a tremendous amount of unique and rare character traits. They're selfless. They truly are a team first, and they have the best interest of the team at heart every single day. They're relentlessly driven to be successful, and they pursue the excellence on a daily basis. I was just privileged to witness it, and that led to the accomplishments that are second to none and will never be beaten and can only be matched. And at the end of the day, I think that's what makes these guys so attractive to the colleges. Yes, they have ability, yes, but they are also the right kind of guys, the kind of guys that you want in any sort of football program, anywhere, on any team. I love them all to death, and I'm so proud to be a small part of their journey and appreciate them for everything they've done for this program. So I'll start down at the end. I think we have it in the correct order. I'll say some brief remarks, and then if you guys want to say something quickly, you're more than welcome. Number 51, Hayden Weber. You're the first one, correct? Yep. Hayden was a first-team all-district offensive lineman for us. He was second-team all-state. This was his first year at Parish. And from the moment I met him, when he was interested in coming to Parish, he had a family connection through the Kimbroughs to our previous head of school. I knew he was going to fit right in with our team. You know, yeah, he's a really good football player. Anybody can see that, but more importantly, he's a really good person, and he was the right kind of guy for our program. I knew he was going to bring an element to our team that we needed. He's tough, he's gritty, he's going to get the job done, and you know, that's kind of what our offensive line was all about all year long. You know, he played center for us, and having a freshman quarterback back there, I felt really comfortable knowing that Hayden, you know, was out there kind of helping him as a part of that battery. Especially, you know, what comes to mind is in the pouring down rain game against Bishop Lynch. We weren't all the way sure. I was watching the weather all week long. I got a degree in meteorology that week, but we weren't really sure how that was going to go. And so we soaked the balls the day before in practice and watched Hayden snap. And I was just watching. I finally asked him, he's like, "Coach, I got it. I'll be fine." And, you know, that's really what Hayden's all about. He's going to get the job done. He's going to take care of business. And we are so proud of him, and we're so blessed to have had him here at Parish this year. And we're just sad he's going to be leaving, but certainly happy for Midwestern State, and they're getting a really good person, a really good player in Hayden Weber.
My decision. I want to thank God and my family and my coaches and all my friends for coming out here and supporting me, and just thank y'all. It means a lot to me.
All right, next, number 64, Hunter Ryan. Go ahead. Go ahead. This is the thing I know to be a fact about Hunter Ryan. Nobody on the planet works harder at anything than Hunter Ryan does. He came here as a freshman, worked very hard to achieve the starting role as a center his sophomore year, started at center for us on the state championship football team, did an outstanding job, comes back junior year, suffers a huge setback of an injury with a Liz Frank foot injury, grinds his whole way back. I watch him do this rehab. It's grueling rehab for those of you guys that don't know. And every day, he's an inspiration to me when I feel like I don't want to work hard. You look around and you see him. He's showing up at morning workouts, limping through the workouts, doing everything he needs to do to get ready and get back for his senior year. So he goes through that whole 8-month process, then comes back for about a week and suffers another serious injury. For most people, that would be devastating. That would be career-ending, and they'd say, you know what, like, I'm just going to throw in the towel. But the thing I appreciate most about Hunter, and the thing I know about Hunter, is that's not him. If there's anybody I'd put my money on to go to SMU and to get on the field and achieve greatness, it'd be Hunter Ryan because of his work ethic. And, you know, and I watch that. It truly is inspirational to me. It's inspirational to our football team because he doesn't say a whole lot, but you just watch him work, and you can see the type of character he has and the type of person he is. You know, I'm certainly sad that we didn't get to see him play as a Panther for the final 2 years of his career, but I am grateful for the fact that we got the 1 year with him as a starting center, and he took us to a state championship there, and we certainly are going to miss him. We wish him well, and SMU is getting a very good one in Hunter Ryan, number 64.
First, I'd like to thank my parents and coaches and everybody that's supported me on the way through this journey. I've had a rough time the past few years. I mean, the last game I ever played was September 25th, 2020, so it's been a long time, but you know, I've never really given up on my goal to play football, and you know, I always wanted to play Division I football somewhere. You know, I feel like SMU is going to be the right choice for me, and yeah, thank you.
All right. Next, we have number 13, Nathaniel Hill. Go ahead, there you go. This year, Nathaniel was second team all-district with 26 catches, 545 yards, and 5 touchdowns. He was also honorable mention all-state. But what he really did for our football team kind of goes unnoticed, because if you talk to any defensive coordinator, they're all going to be worried about one thing. They're going to be worried about how they adjust to trips formation. So for us, Nathaniel was usually our X-receiver, which meant he was away from the 3 receivers, and he was the single receiver that was singled up on the other side. Most of the time, that forced the defense to have to double cover him to take him away, and it left other guys open. And so if you look at it from like a basketball perspective, Coach Ajami, that's like getting an assist every single play. So he did that selflessly, and that's the other thing. And one of the real character traits, I think, when I think of Nathaniel Hill, is selfless. He really is a team-first person. I watched him, when we throw bubble screens, block his butt off every time we threw a bubble screen and help spring his teammates for long gains or whatever was needed for this football team. But my lasting memory of him comes from the JP2 game last year. We were down 16 points with less than 2 minutes to play. We get a quick touchdown to Jai Moore on a long pass, somehow get the 2-point conversion, get another quick touchdown, somehow get the next 2-point conversion, and put the game into overtime. So we come out on the first play, and we're going to run a little bunch play. We run circus, and it's got Nathaniel running a corner route. So he shakes the defender, who just so happens to be going to play Division I college football too, on a corner route. Ball's thrown right in there, catch, score, ball game, all right? And we win the football game coming back from down 16 points on his overtime touchdown catch. And when I think about him, that's usually the first memory that comes to my mind, the joy we had celebrating that win and that game. But the other things that come to my mind are what a huge advantage it was to have him for the last 2 years on the outside. He's tall, he's fast, he's long, he's rangy. He can do anything you want in a receiver to go do. He'll go up and catch the football at its high point. He's got great ball skills, and all that is terrific. But I also would be remiss if I didn't mention how proud I am of him coming here as a student and achieving first-team academic all-state this year. To me, I think that's his most tremendous accomplishment here as a Parish Panther, and we're certainly excited for him to go on to Villanova and play football for them, and we're going to miss him here, but we appreciate everything he's done for us, and we're proud of him. Nathaniel Hill.
First and foremost, I would like to thank God for blessing me with this opportunity. I would also like to thank my parents for their hard work and sacrifice. I'd like to thank my coaches, students, teachers, and everyone else who supported me through this process, so thank you.
All right, next is number 1, Blake Youngblood, a.k.a. the Bubble Boy. He got the nickname the Bubble Boy because we threw so many bubble screens to him, and he was so deadly catching them and running off with them that I started calling him on the team Bubble Boy, and it kind of stuck. But 2 years in a row, Blake has been named first team all-district and first team all-state. I'm not supposed to divulge this, but it was unanimous both times, meaning there was no question. The vote was unanimously Blake Youngblood. Nobody had any issue with it. That rarely happens in our meetings. He was the leading wide receiver this year for us with 64 receptions for 972 yards and 13 touchdowns. That was a huge help for us on the football field, but more importantly, the thing I think Blake did for this football team this year more than anything is he bridged the gap with our culture. See, we had a bunch of really good kids that had graduated last year that kind of came in with me when the program started, and the popular sentiment was you're losing a bunch of people and the culture's going to change. But Blake was kind of the guy, when you get around him, you'll know what I mean. He kind of bridged that gap and held everybody accountable to this program and kept us on point and going in the right direction and kept our culture at the standard that we expect from our players. And if you watch him play, you can see what I mean. You know, if you go back to the Prestonwood game this year in the Star, there was a third down where he caught a pass, he got his helmet ripped off, keeps on playing and then stands up and he's pointing first down and talking trash to the other team, and that just shows you the character he has and what he does for this football team and how he helped carry us through and continue the tradition that we expect. He was elected captain by his teammates, which was certainly a deserving honor because he truly is one of the best leaders I've been around. When he comes to practice every day, he's inspiring to me because you don't know if he's ever having a bad day. I don't think Blake has ever had a bad day. Sometimes I go out there sulking, and then I see him goofy and smiling and having a good time, and he brings everybody up with him. And so that was certainly a huge emotional lift to our football team and a huge aspect to what we had here this year. And I love him to death, and we appreciate him. And Holy Cross and Coach Chesney are getting certainly one of our best players in Blake Youngblood.
I first want to start by thanking my parents for allowing me to come to this amazing school. I want to thank Mr. Bernacco, Mr. Jennings, Ms. Cayley, and all the upper school principals and everyone else. I want to thank all my teachers. I want to thank Coach Keegan and Coach Neal for everything they do. I want to thank Coach Ajami, Coach McCabe, and Coach Tony for always being there and supporting us. I want to thank my teammates, the student section, and my sister. And most importantly, I want to thank Coach Novikov and all the other coaches for doing such a great job. Go Cross, go!
All right. Is there anything else we need to get to? All right. Number 2. All right, Andrew Paul. Andrew was a Landry Award finalist, the first private school player in the history of that award to be selected as a finalist. He was the Ford Built Tough Player of the Year. He was the District 1 overall MVP, and that was unanimous as well. We didn't even take a vote there. We just put his name up, and everybody said good and handed the trophy over. He was the Inside High School Sports Bobblehead winner. It's K104 Truckham Beast of the Week. First team All-District and All-State, 271 carries for 2,616 yards, 41 rushing touchdowns, 14 receptions, 208 yards, and 3 receiving touchdowns. After week 6, and I figured this out because Elliot Desalams, who's our long snapper, posted his long snapping highlights, and on the post, he had to put a disclaimer on there that says, "Here are my long snapping highlights. We didn't punt after week 6. So I attribute a lot of that to his ability to run the football and these guys' ability up here to catch the football. But that's an amazing statistic. He averaged 9.7 yards per carry. But the thing I know most about Andrew, and I remember most about Andrew, is he just went to work after last year. I tell people this all the time, but he never complained. Never said I should have this offer or that offer, I should be recruited by this school or that school. All he did was go and work his butt off between last year and this year to achieve all this. And I think that's really the lesson in all this, is that if you go work hard and try to achieve something, you can. And he's living proof of that. And I'm going to tell a quick story here and to end it, but Andrew had requested to wear number 2 when he got here. Obviously, that number was taken by Preston Stone last year already, so it wasn't available. Everyone, after last year, expected for nobody to wear that number for a while, maybe if ever again. And I really remember standing up here last year at this same ceremony and having that specific thought go through my mind, that number won't be out there making magic anymore. But something in my gut told me not to address it last year, because there was more greatness left in that number, and it was destined for even more. So I'm glad I went with my gut with that, and now look what happened. So who knows, the next Andrew Paul's probably sitting out here in the crowd, ready to take that number to the next level, or the next Blake Youngblood, or the next really any of these guys sitting here. You guys are probably sitting out there, and these guys are living proof that if you chase after your dream, you can accomplish it. Just work hard and always strive for excellence, and this is the end result that can happen. So turn it over to Andrew here for for the announcement? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. All right, first things first, I'd like to thank God. Really, these last couple months have really been hectic with recruiting and everything, and I really just put it in God's hands. So if things really became clear after that, and I really know that this school is the school God meant for me to be. Next, I'd like to thank my family, my mom and my dad, and my sisters and brothers, and my teammates, my coaches, my trainers. They really helped me get to where I am today. Without further ado, for the next 3 years, I'll be spending at the University of Georgia.
All right, we need to get Wiley to take a picture here real quick. Everybody needs to face this way. Is that right, Coach Ajami? Look right here, guys. Good. All right. Now is the time. Everybody can put pen to paper and go ahead. Congratulations. All right, that will conclude our February 2022 signing day. Appreciate everyone for coming out. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you guys.